country, and we got a partnership with people that are willing. I want to also say thanks to NASCO. I think one of their sponsors, NASCO, I come in with my own funding, then they look around, right, other reputable institution to amend what I can bring in. I think it's been going very well, and we'll extend that, expand it across Bong County. And I think it will be one of those activities that we can rely on in giving back to the county. We didn't stop just at the medical outreach. We empowered the city authority, the town chief in Moye, to launch a clean city campaign. We also look after the old folks in our town and the different catchment area of the clinic, provided, Christmas gift for the kids. So it was a whole round activities. My own senator, junior senator, Johnny Moye, brought one cow as a way of participating and helping to feed the people. The deputy minister also, they brought some, their own also gift. So it was wonderful to be in Moye right after the Christmas. And I think we'll continue to replicate that in other parts of the county.
Have you in any way been able to receive a bigger mandate from your people?
This is one of the biggest I ever received. I was a deputy speaker. Sitting 3 years into my tenure as a deputy speaker, I was asked to run as a senator for the county. So I felt that being a deputy speaker, you were elected by your colleagues. You got to come from one district in the district in a 7 electoral district county to be a representative, and then come at the cabinet and fight for the deputy speakership for your colleagues to vote for you. So I didn't get at the time overwhelming vote from across the county. So by allowing me to serve the country, I felt it was giving me a bigger mandate. So they gave me that bigger mandate overwhelmingly.
And opting for a bigger one?
No. I've always said to myself, Obadiah, what God has for me will come to pass. So I don't set my ambition at the level where I want to break everything just to get at it. So I just wait, and see what God has for me. And I continue to work for my people. That's all.
You have been intensively engaging your constituents. It has been barely a year now since the inception of the Unity Party-led government of President Joseph Boakai. What are your constituents really saying to you? What are they opting for? What are the challenges? What needs to be addressed urgently?
I'm not only a mayor senator. You know that I'm a former campaign manager of the ruling Unity Party. I led the campaign. So that was a bigger mandate to chair a campaign of that nature. So I owe it to the people of Bong County, to be quite frank. Not only my personal initiative, we all striving for the government to perform holistically, so that those things that we spoke of in time past when we were running the campaign, so that almost all can come to fruition. And I want to be thankful to the president, for the initiative implementing the arrest agenda and making sure that impact in health and education have been felt at all levels. You may not grade it to the level that you want to grade it, but there are conversations, there are initiatives that have started yielding a very good result at the different county levels. And by extension, Obadiah, we ran a campaign in Bong County telling the people that, look, when Joseph Boakai is elected, you have your major infrastructure that your forefathers left here renovated. You have them, brought to a status where you'll be appreciative, that your forefathers' hand marks will not be destroyed, and other people sit and look at it. Today we have an administrative building that is up to standard. That perimeter has been fenced by the local authority. You have the one superintendent compound that was a high up for Zocos. Let me not use that word for our affected youth. So that compound is now restored, I can say, to a very large extent. It's now restored. So we have the Banga General Market that was also not conducive for marketers, being restored at the Ellen Johnson Salute Market. We have that space now not being used as a hideout for criminals. So Bong County is taking a shape, a direction in a way that the Rex agenda, by the close of his first term, will be actualized. And we are at the legislature trying to help the president to making sure that whatever is brought as a way of trying to implement the agenda is being buttressed by us, is being pursued by us, and our colleagues will be convinced and seeing the facts to follow us to make sure that the agenda is realized. And that's what we are here for.
You and several others were in Lofa County along with President Boyka recently. Tell us a little bit about...
Before going there, I mean, President Boyka has always said Bong County will host a convention center. Okay. I don't want to say conference, it's a convention center. We that have traveled in other countries, when you talk about convention center, you can have more than 10 conferences going on at different part of the areas, you know, that the center is built. So as a way of jump-starting that, the county leadership has acquired a little over 40 acres of land. And it has been surveyed. I think the deed has been produced by the land authority. So we are very fast to making sure that the president promised to the people of Bong County is realized. So that land space has been acquired duly by the
Is the land given free of charge by the people?
You know, the people, when they are happy about a pronouncement of that nature, they volunteer. They have the land all over. They just want people that have good intention to developing the county so that they can share, push out the land that they have. So willingly, a family gave it, and the county authority took the initiative to conduct the survey and have all the necessary deed prepared. So we can say, you know, when you're selling land, you should have a mother deed for that. So you have to process it through the government, through the land authority, which the county, the local authority did very good.
The trip to Lofa, was it to merry make or to engage in the festivities?
Yes, it was quite good. We have gone to Lofa, all of the 1964 counties. We have gone there to commemorate our 60th anniversary. And it was a wonderful gathering. I interacted with Grandidians, I interacted with Lufien, the Mayans. I mean, I'm talking about my own delegation that went. So it was a week. I mean, weekend activities. I saw a lot of individuals participating, making speeches. On top of it all, the president was there, the vice president, and we all had a wonderful time. I mean, void of politics, we had, you know, some of our friends from the CDC, but they are from Lofa. They needed to grace the occasion for all of us to say, look, we were created the same year, and we needed to celebrate. And but as a way of information, you know, Obadiah, we are the champion of the 1964 counties tournament of organized. Bong took the lead, and other counties should watch out, you know, for Bong County. For what I see, and the team that we have, they have to watch out for the county meet, for Bong County.
You spearheaded a process that led to the passage of the national budget for fiscal year 2025. But President Joseph Boyka is yet to sign it into law. Perhaps the impasse at the House of Representatives may be a contributing factor to that. However, most often, Senator Moye, national budgets are passed, but the trickle-down effect is not actually seen in the lives of the people in their communities. What assurance can you give Liberians that the passage of this 2025 draft national budget will have a trickle-down effect on the masses?
Obadiah, the passage of the budget by the legislature was something that all of us fought to achieve. And I can assure you that the 2025 budget will have a very big trickle-down effect to the different communities in our country. the current government took over a transitional budget. And, that budget was recast almost, twice. Because when I say recast, you had a resolution for 112, first. Then from there, the budget was sent back because it was introduced by the former government. It was sent back to, to have it aligned with the arrest agenda. It came in very late. Almost we're concluding budget in April. I mean, what kind of execution do you expect when the budget is concluded in April? Having concluded in April, we had again to recast almost in September. So it was a transitional budget. So the impact, let's be frank, was great for the fact that it was, from the overall, the past government almost used 25% of that budget before the current government taking over in January. All the preparation, the transitional period funding, they were all done by the past government. So I want to be clear to say a very big thank you to the Ministry of Finance and Development Planning, the minister, the current minister, and the folks at that ministry, for them to have executed a kind of transitional budget that left from one hand to another, and that's the same revenue that were going in the same consolidated account to pay up to December. I think the management at that place did extremely well. I want to say a very big thank you to Minister Gaffon and his team. That was a remarkable activities, because people always shape blame. Oh man, we inherited a budget. They both use portion of the budget, so we will not raise money to fund the budget to the end. But as we said, civil servant, some were paid even before Christmas. On the 15th, they started receiving salaries. So I'm sure most of our colleagues in the opposition did not expect that. But that's a work of a mature government. So I want to say a very big thank you, and to the folks at the Revenue Authority for ensuring that a robust revenue collection was done. That saw a jump as at September 30th by the report, a jump in the revenue of a little over 50 some more $50 million. That means as at September 30th, 2024, there were excess revenue raised at the same time in 2023 in excess of $53 million. So that's a wonderful work that was done. If they are just empowered, like they have always told us in the different hearings, to empower them to man our borders, to make sure that all the different entry point that has to do with goods and services, shipment. I think we can hit the $1 billion like the Revenue Authority Commissioner General has always mentioned.
You are a ranking member of the Liberian Senate. What do you make of the workings of the Senate? Is the Senate living up to the expectations of the Liberian people?
Definitely. And when I hear some of our colleagues say the Senate is an extension of the executive, I just laughed, because the first time, and I don't know from what perspective they are speaking, but we see major activities across the country. We see road infrastructure now, all the potholes in some of the places, they have been patched. We have road work going. The pliable road, initiative launched by the president is ongoing, although it started late last year. But I'm sure this year they're going to plan for it better, so that no car gets stuck in the mud, as pronounced by the president, will be implemented, while pavement is going on in other places. You see, clinics across the country. You have drugs being delivered to those places. And as a matter of fact, the National Warehouse for Drugs is now being manned by our partners. Some of our partners are visible there, ensuring that drugs that are procured by the Ministry of Health are delivered in their hands, in the partners' hands, and working with our Liberian staff. So it shows transparency. It shows the delivery of drugs in those different areas. You saw the robust recruitment of county education officers, that was left with a committee headed by the Dean of Teacher College. you see how transparent it is. The minister did not say because I'm a unity party partisan or whatever, I was brought in by the president, I will sit somewhere to please senators, to please representatives by sending people in the different counties. That was a process that was left with a kind of qualified partner to conduct. And the result thereof, we're going to impact our student public, because those professionals that have been recruited at the district and county level, they will man those schools, district and county education areas in a way that they will feel that where they are, they merit it, and it will not based on Senator Moye recommendation here. These are professional areas that we left squarely with the technician to working. So those results will start to come in, Obadiah. Gradually, they will start to come in. And we can say to agriculture, look there. I was in Bong, I was amazed to have seen my former district, my Bong area, to have that kind of production. And we're talking about so many hectares. And I on the machine, the combined harvester. And I want to say hats off to Dr. Nuta that has, taken the production of rice and other agricultural activities very seriously. When you plow the route from here to Nima County, you will see along the roads, our locals are now fighting over swamp, just to have their lowland rice cultivated. And all in Monrovia, those abundant swamps have been cultivated. That's a way of growing what we eat. And I think it will somehow alleviate the huge importation of our staple food. So gradually the government is taking shape, and those institutions that are close with the authority to make those advances, to make those service delivery available to our people. And we at the Senate, all we can do is to buttress it. So for somebody to claim that the Senate is an extension, I mean, you may be saying it in your own word. I mean, everybody entitled to their opinion. But I think we are here to help, the executive, who has that authority to execute the national budget, execute it in a way that that will be, acceptable by our people.
Senator, are you aware of any calculated plan to unseat Senator Yombli Kanga Lawrence as the pro tempore of the Liberian Senate?
Absolutely no. The Senate, prior to my coming to the Senate, I didn't know that the Senate was actually a kind of matured area, to be quite frank. I'm not saying that to me, the House is not mature. No, I mean, we had our own activities running in the House in terms of how we govern ourselves and all that kind of thing. But the Senate is a kind of matured area. If you notice that we didn't even have election, we build consensus on issues, and we are not kids. Some of us, the experience we have acquired over the years and coming to the Senate, it just add up onto our expertise in making sure that we do what is right. So categorically, I want to say to you, there's no plot. We enjoy the working of the pro tem and the leadership. I'm not too sure somebody will ever think about, moving the pro tem if you had no cause to do it. Everything we do in the Senate is based on consensus. Even to operate our own budget is based on consensus. We all agreed, what we're going to do, how our committee hearing going to be conducted, how our different activities going to be conducted, and we move, along that line. And this is the first time under the leadership of the pro tem and the leadership of the Senate, we even opened the revenue hearing of the budget. We opened it to the public. We said, in time past, the practice has been, look, revenue hearing is closed because there are revenue numbers that you don't want to announce to the public. They turn out to be opposite. So we'd like to conduct it in a way that will be thorough and then come to the public. But we took a decision in one of our meetings. We said, look, open the revenue. Who you projecting the revenue for? It's for the public. And if the public is aware that LPRC is supposed to provide this amount to the consolidated account, what's the secret there? That's public knowledge. And we did that clearly. And it will surprise you. One of the decisions we took again to further reduce the legislature budget, to further reduce it. In 2023, I am talking about the budget that was passed in 2023. The legislature has 67 plus something million. I'm not talking about the uptrend. I'm talking about the actual budget will pass in 2023, 67 million. In 2024, under the leadership of the Pro-Tem and all of us, said business cannot be as usual for the legislature. We took a very drastic decision to reduce that 67 million to $52 million. $52 million, even with the purchase of vehicle in that.
Do you think it still need to be reduced?
So we have further taken a decision as a legislature. Okay. Now our budget will exceed $45 million or $46 million. So you see,
it means that deducted portions will go towards other priorities.
Other priorities. That's what we have decided to do. And this is a joint leadership and pronouncement we're making here. The House or representative leadership and the Senate leadership, we came to the realization that, look, we will cut down everything and send it to agencies of government to deliver on their services they're supposed to provide for the citizens of Liberia. So even we had a one-off expenditure in the $52 million. We have vehicle purchase for lawmakers, and all over the place. When you even move that vehicle purchase for almost 103 lawmakers, it's in the tune of a little over $4 million. So if you move 4 million from 52, you still going to be left with almost 46, 47. But we are telling you that our budget would not exceed $46 million. So it tells you that the rumor that are out there, people trying to protect budget, they're trying to get the budget to themselves. That's why they're trying to see somebody in the other place, see the other person. We have come to say it's a big lie. Apparently, those individuals are the ones that kept, the country the way it is during their leadership. But we have come open and clear to taking drastic measure to make the legislature, to work within the budget that it will be able to work within, to conduct its public hearings, its committee hearing, in a way that the public will be appreciative.
Senator,
so it's a drastic deduction every year. And we're going to go along under the leadership, the current leadership of the legislature. That's a commitment. So nobody will say, oh yeah, they were fighting to move the other person so that they can have, the message around here, people trying to get control over the budget. And I think when you want to get control is by lowering your budget to get all that you want in it, as compared to seeing the realistic needs of the people of the country and taking away from yourself and sending it to those institutions. So from 52 to a little over 45, I think that's a big reduction, and we can say safely that when the budget print will come out, it will be clearly seen in what we have done.
Senator, I think you're aware of news that the general manager of the Boulevard Palace Hotel in person of Mr. Anwar Follow has passed, and his death has been reported, and police has launched an investigation. However, there is this local media report that some government officials, including Vice President Jeremiah Kuhn, Deputy Speaker Thomas Fana, and you, Senator Prince Moye, there's an alleged video footage showing the three of you guys are distributing huge sum of monies to some government officials, including lawmakers and ministers, at the most talked about and controversial room 1026 there at the Boulevard Palace Hotel. Perhaps this will be a reason that the general manager was allegedly killed. What's the response to this?
Obadiah, because this country will have a gullible society. So some of these things, when it come out, we just have to, respond to it immediately. That's why I have to take, this question. I was just on the phone with Bob Best. Bob Best should be the managing editor or whoever of the Daily Observer. Sometimes, Obadiah, when news of such is written by one person sitting in one little corner, one propagandist or whatever, sometimes you don't give it the kind of attention you have to give it. Because social media has made it just so bad that anybody, you can sit in your one little room and create an account and say anything about anybody. They will not even know who is saying it. But when it is published in a paper like the Daily Observer, then it calls for us to comment on it. You know, and I was on the phone with Bob Best. I said, look, Bob, you don't have to reduce the credibility of your paper. You know, a paper that your father, you know, the veteran Kenneth Best, fought hard to establish. And it has been one of the papers that Liberians will have hope in, will have credibility in. And, you know, I said, don't allow it to be used for propaganda purpose, and, you know, at an issue of that magnitude. You're talking about the death of a renowned hotel manager. Then you have one David Ye sit down somewhere, is one of your electoral person, and just say something. Well, oh, where is the ABC now in journalism in our country? Where the ABC is? I mean, well, all anybody, you are not just saying.
Can people contact you to get yourself the story?
If you just come up, I'm not a journalist. You don't hear me on the radio like that, you know. But it baffles me. If you are just an alleged government official, who will be thinking who the government? But when you follow a lead to an investigation, whether your paper is doing an investigation of the death of the general manager at Boulevard Palace, and you're following a lead, when you now specific with names calling, then it means that your lead has shown you 80 or 75% that the individuals that you are calling their name, they are involved. And you know, but to just come out and say, oh, because we're following a lead. Look, let me give you the genesis of how the budget works. And I don't know whether those propagating this, is this current government that they're talking about discussing budget at 1024 Boulevard Palace. Because since I resumed the chairmanship of the Waste, Means, Finance and Development Planning in the Senate, I have never, I'm telling you, never had any budget meeting, of that magnitude to Boulevard Palace. Never. That's the first thing I want to tell you. And in the first place, the way the committee is structured, we have conference room all over here. If we want to meet in my conference room, I can choose to lock this door and meet with ministers that I want to meet here on a kind of budget discussion. Right here. Right here. Right in my conference room here, lock my door. If I want to. And maybe in time past, the vice president was part of the CDC budget discussion. Maybe in time past, the deputy speaker, the former deputy speaker was part of, and you know, the CDC budget discussion. And I will maybe say, I will assume...
Talking about former deputy speaker...
Okay. Yeah, former deputy speaker, because all the propaganda thing that is associated, I have done all my discussion, is associated with this thing one fight at the House of Representatives.
Okay.
Because they have always said it's for budget control, this and that. Okay. And they keep dragging everybody in. So I'm saying to the whole world and the public that since I became a chairman of Waste Means, there's no way that vice president is part of a budget discussion. No, absolutely no. There's no way that a deputy speaker is part of... Deputy speaker, by the rules in the House, you are as official on all the committees. But it doesn't give you that right to sit with budget people to discuss anything anyway. In the Senate, the vice president had nothing. The vice president is at the tail end of the budget to they can sign. That means plenary has given its approval, and it has been engrossed and sent to the House, and the House has, you know, the speaker has signed off on it and sent it back to the vice president, then the vice president signed on that. That's how it works. But I'm saying this to me, Obadiah, the main point I'm trying to make is, look, when the revelation was made by former Speaker Kofa about the 1026, I mean, that was almost months back when the crisis started in the House. So if somebody have footage of somebody, and the way former Speaker have fought to even buy almost the entire media in the country, there to be on his side knocking and, you know, singing praises, that tape, he would have even sold somebody property to just get that tape and expose anybody, because he faces a serious political crisis in his life. So he can go all to pay for any video footage that you have on and perceive, individuals that you claim that try to oust you from your position. So he said that months back. So a general manager had this something, ever since. I know Kofa will have done everything, said everything that he has to just purchase it instead of allowing him to be removed. Because those are saying that, I say it clearly. It didn't even come in the Daily Observer, but it came from CDC, some CDC propagandists, on their social media page, this and that. That's how they pass it on to the Daily Observer. My only regret is for people like the Daily Observer will get consumed by, a propaganda story that will reduce the credibility of the people. Well, or even coming to contact me or contact those names I haven't mentioned.
Are you considering any legal action?
I talked to Kenneth Bob Best. I'm on record taking hard decisions on journalists in this country. I'm on record of that. And I don't care for the consequence. But we have reached a point that we are in leadership now. And every arrow pointing to, every small thing, Moye, this and that for some surface reason. So you don't want to go that route. I called Bob Best this morning. He apologized. Okay. He said, we should have contacted you this. I said, don't do that. And you get that? But I'm just saying this to me, the way former Deputy Speaker budget was being bloated in this country, with Orton showing 4 million. Under this regime, no Deputy Speaker Orton will show that. I am blunt with this. The way Vice President budget was 4 million plus. Under this regime, what is for the Vice President will be for the Vice President. Okay. It's not going to be bloated. So there's no need. I'm just saying that to me. There's no need for us to go sit in one lay Boulevard Palace hotel room that have been publicized to the world by Funati Kofa 1026, and then go sit down back there again in the budget, or maybe the past budget hearing they're talking about. The rhetoric is not clear, but by mentioning my name, because it shows that it's the current budget that will be hindering. And because I was now on ways and means in the CDC government that gave Funati 1.5 million budget actual, but then when it came to as a tender, it became 4 million. And nobody seemed to care about that. Nobody seemed to care because you pay a lot of money to the press. And that's the frustrating part about our country. When a grave allegation is being leveled against a statement like Funati Kofa, and using a budget to funnel money, and the alternative is established clearly, nobody cares about that. It doesn't make issue. The issue is why people trying to take him from it. So they are behind all of that, and I'm quite aware of that. And I have to address it the way I'm addressing it. I challenge Bob Best and his Daily Observer, said they are leading an investigation to get a clue, and they have mentioned him. I challenge them to publish a video footage that I was sitting there, and I challenge them.
Are you willing to resign your post or openly apologize to Liberia when video footage shows that?
Definitely.
They should be
definitely. I will resign the next day in Boulevard Palace. I will resign the next day. That's my commitment to the citizens of Liberia that believe in me. I will resign the next day. Why we're sitting there distributing money to ministers? I don't know for what. They are confused. They don't even know propaganda. And why are you taking money, giving it to minister again? For what?
What has been your relationship with the foreign general manager of Boulevard Palace?
I don't have a relationship. I didn't even see the. Barbara got to go sit down in hotel to discuss with ministers of government, or to give minister of government money. Deputy Speaker Fala has to go sit down with hotel to discuss budget.
Why do you think this kind of report is coming on you at this time?
Oh, it is coming because we know it. When you are progressing politics in our country, you become the dumb side of all the bad news. The dumb side of all the bad news. And that's just what's happening. They will not call any foolish person, they will not call any foolish person name. But they know that we stand for what we believe in. And I was in this country. I had tenure as compared to the current president first term. And I decided to stand with him, and have always challenged the opposition, CDC. If they had anything on me in the country, it would have come up because I accepted a position, a national campaign position of the current government. So I braved the storm. to say I stand it because I knew my character, everything that I have done, my 12 years in the legislature. They are all clear there. Even when the news are around and you know, because we wanted to manipulate budget or this and that, I also challenged, you know, Kofa and his team. I said, you conduct audit now, who will be caught? I said, I ran a clean budget when I was deputy speaker. Clean budget. They say I challenge you. I ever seen any of them? Unlike him being a deputy speaker for a budget to go at $4 million. And you know,
people watching you may say you will politically fight back. What do you think?
I mean, you don't fight for yourself. God has always fought my battle. And that's why I continue to survive with all of their plots. All of their plots. As soon as we passed the budget again, they came by budget manipulation. But they were, and you know, afraid not to even punish any high ranking officer on their side. But I late chief clerk, although they signed the budget, but they came at the end to almost want to deny their own signature. You know, when you are crooked, and you know, you don't have character, then you tend to hang on your police character. That's what's happening. And that fight they in, they have to settle it. They can't keep putting people in it. And you know, you don't have the standing to conduct yourself in a way that your police will believe in you, and our trust have been gone. Deal with your issue. Don't keep putting people there. Don't keep putting people there. And you get that? The budget has been passed, and we're waiting for the president, whoever authority, to sign off on it, and it will be made public.
Senator, what do you think is taking so long for the president?
I mean, I think that just the festive season, all the different engagement, holidays upon holidays, we almost passed the budget almost at the close of, very close to the Christmas. What do you expect? President got to go to Lofa for all the different activities there. He came back. He has to go to Ghana for other, you know, regional visit and other stuff. He's back. He was in Bong. So once the holiday is over and the weekend is over, official business will start and the budget will be passed and printed, signed and printed into handbill. Then we have to wait for that to see the realistic work that was done by the joint committee of the legislature on Ways, Means, Finance and Development Planning. That's all I can tell the Liberian people.
Senator Moye, one country, two speakers. One is embattled, one has been elected by a majority block of members.
Yeah, that's why they.
Who do you recognize?
That's why but who am I discussing the budget? Who am I discussing the budget? Who am I discussing the budget? I'm discussing the budget with a committee that the Senate, you know, has endorsed for us to work with under the leadership of Speaker Kuhn, Richard Namwe Kuhn. You know, so they get one embattled speaker here, he will sit down there.
But he's still occupying the office. What do you think? What needs to be done?
The office is just, you can work as speaker from anywhere. When you get tired, you will move. When you get tired, you will move. You know, the office is just one lane place that you can go and rest. And once the portfolio not there, whatever not there, you know, you're going to move. You know, yeah, that's the kind of country we're in. And, you know, people, when it comes to them, they think that the whole country should bring. You know, we're just here to witness all the different actions of Kofa around here. You know, the cyber money, all the kind of stuff. He was heavily involved as a lawyer, you know, persecuting people here, this and that. He could say, we have issue with you. You illegally operated your budget, this and that, a major crime that he had not even been able to speak to. He come to the public and say to the public, I don't even know who can sign. It's a blatant lie. I've been a deputy speaker before. I know how it's a political office. All those that you employ, they are your political employee. You live with them. So you're not getting a controller that will be signing on check that you don't give approval to. How you brought the controller in your office? The controller in the deputy speaker office is not a public servant. It's not a civil servant. It is your political appointees that work with the controller at the House of Representatives. How can you come? So you leave major issues that your colleagues have raised against you. Then you try to hang on other people's reputation. And you know, because
so how do you think
the whole country should burn because of you?
How do you think that the current impasse at the House of Representatives can be resolved?
Why do you think? As far as I'm concerned, I mean, there's nothing. There's nothing. People having their regular session passing bills they concurring with us, we concurring with them, this and that. And, you know, you think the international community, they don't know the facts surrounding the circumstances. You go make stories. As you making the stories, they're looking at the meat of the issue. They're looking at it. They're looking at the meat of the issue. So you're not going to use any, quote unquote, in the end. Thankfully, why they were saying that the government was being, you know, awarded the MCC compass stuff. And, you know, so in the midst of all their drama at the place, the government is still running. And everything it takes for the president to ensure that the compass benefit the
Liberia is going to receive the foreign media? Are you hopeful that Liberia is going to receive the foreign media?
We have jump started as a legislature. Okay. While the announcement has been made, we made provision for the office to be funded and recruitment of Liberians that will be capable to serve that office. Okay. And you know, we have done that. We made provision in the budget for that. So we're not waiting for the MCC to start sending money before. We are very proactive as a government, and the legislature is very, very cognizant of the fact that that money is going to impact the population in a very positive way. So we are not sitting waiting as a country. We're moving ahead. So to conclude, all I want to say to the propagandists, and you know, that have been sponsored by former Speaker Kufa and his team, is look, let them focus on how they can deal with the issue on that side. Let them focus on it. We have no business under our watch. Vice President and myself, no budget board have met anywhere. Deputy Speaker and myself, and no budget board have met him in a hotel. All my budget discussion has been instructed by the leadership of the Senate and mandated me to work with the Joint Committee, for our committee to work with the Joint Committee openly to scrutinize the budget. And that's been our action here. Nothing other short of that. And if they were doing it as a result, he named 1026 that he were informed about during that regime or whatever, it's not business as usual. If you felt that you were benefiting from budget that passed at 1.6 million and you got $4 million, it's not going to happen again. So just forget about that one. Don't bring people inside. We're not in our business. We're not there. Focus on your issue at the House of Representatives, and either accept to be a representative and take your room and work for the people of Grand Crew and start jumping up here. It will not help you.
All right, Senator Moye, thanks a lot for speaking to Front Page Africa.
Thank you, Obadiah.
For this, I would like to come to the end of this live interview with Bong County Senator Prince Moye, who is also the chair of the Senate Committee on Ways, Means, and Finance. He spoke on a wide range of issues, including an allegation that he was part of a few top government officials, including Vice President Jeremiah Kun and Deputy Speaker Thomas Fala, distributing monies to some public officials, including ministers and lawmakers, at the most talked about room 1026 there at the famous Boulevard Palace Hotel in Monrovia. My name is Obadiah Johnson, saying thanks to you.